Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, we're going to talk about inventory, supply, cash flow, diversification, and customers. All these buzzwords for you, I know, but I wanted to have a conversation and use this opportunity with the Pokemon market to talk about some things that I've learned over the last 6 months that I think will eventually apply to Magic the Gathering, also applies to kind of online businesses. So I want to get into it. We haven't really gotten into discussing Pokemon because that's not really what the channel is. I would love to, but that's not really what the channel is. That being said, I think there's a lot of you who watch the channel as a result of maybe one day hoping to own a local game store. Maybe you do own a local game store. And this is a very, very poignant issue in the current world of Pokemon. And I think I've learned a lot over the last 6 months. So first thing is with inventory. What I'm hearing across the board, both locally when people walk into our store and see our inventory, as well as hearing from other people in my Discord server, join the Discord server at KitchenTableTCG.com if you want to hang out, is that when they walk into other local game stores, stores have zero product on the shelf. They have zero Pokemon product. They can't find Pokemon product elsewhere. And I'm not just talking about big boxes, also like local game stores like mine. And one of the things that we got kind of lucky with is over the last 2 years when everything was down and nobody was buying boxes, I just kind of kept buying the regular stuff that I was buying. And we'll get into cash flow later on in the video, but because of that, we have had over the last 6 months a pretty good inventory, which is finally starting, I guess not finally, that's not good, finally starting to wane. We're running out of booster packs. We're running out of booster boxes of stuff that we had in stock. And I think the first thing when we're talking about inventory is what I've learned over the last 6 months. When people walk in and they see that they have options compared to everywhere else where they don't have options, that's a huge, huge win. Maybe they walked in because they wanted to get Prismatic Evolutions, right? And we did Prismatic Evolutions in our Discord server at MSRP for our local customers, a limit. That's how we handled that. And then we bought Prismatic Evolutions off the secondary market to kind of keep product in stock. But if they walked in the door expecting to get or wanting to get Prismatic Evolutions at MSRP and they couldn't, well, then there was other product for them that they could pick up. They could still engage with what they came into the store for. And so again, that's something I think across the line, if you're going to run a local game store, if you're going to do this, you have to figure out ways to have answers to inventory, have answers to when you walk into the door, we have something for you that you walked in to want. Because if you walk into a store, and if you walk into my store and I don't have anything that you want, you're not coming back. Why would you come back? If I don't have any Pokemon, why would you ever make the journey back to my store if I don't have what you want? That's the reason you came in. So I think what I've learned is that I have to continue to have an inventory of which people want. And this is not rocket science. I know it makes total sense. But a lot of stores struggle to get that inventory. And that's where you have supply. Where do you get that inventory from? So as we've been waning, we sold out of Prismatic Evolutions, so we bought Prismatic Evolutions with this idea of, people are going to criticize us for selling above MSRP if they don't know that we bought it at 3x MSRP, right? Or whatever it is, 2x MSRP. People are going to complain, and that's going to happen. But when you walk into the store, that person who wants Prismatic Evolution, we have supplied it so that you can get it. And that person's going to end up buying it at whatever price they're going to buy it at anyway. There are people who will never pay above MSRP. That's true. There are people like that. But most people who want the hot product are going to end up paying for it anyway. And so if you as a store can provide that service, well, then you've just earned another customer. Going back to that last thing I said, you've just earned another customer. They didn't have to shop online. They could get it on a whim. And they know that when they walk in the door, you will supply other stuff. One of the other things we've done, again, this one doesn't really apply too much towards Magic, but we've started sourcing Japanese booster boxes. I know that the Team Rocket set is going to be extremely hard to get. It's going to be a product that I get allocated less on. It's going to be a product that everybody wants. We're going to sell all of our product at MSRP in about 30 minutes in our Discord server. So what we've started doing is sourcing Japanese product we make about the same profit percentage off of it. And we're able to have Heatwave coming in. I'll have Heatwave in 2 weeks. in our local store. And people who are really excited for that Team Rocket Pokemon set will be able to engage with the Team Rocket Pokemon set by buying Japanese Heatwave. And that's a way that they can engage with the product that they're going to want. So even if I can't source as much of the English version as I want to, at least I'm still sourcing some other inventory that makes the customers happy. And so that's been really important for me to learn. I really avoided doing Japanese Pokemon for a long time. My attitude towards it was like, I don't want to take away from what people are going to spend on, English Pokemon. But at this point, like, the risk is there's just almost zero risk. It all sells eventually. So it's just kind of one of those things. This all kind of leads into the cash flow game. And again, whether you are doing this online, you're dreaming of having a local game store, whether you do Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or Sorcery or One Piece or whatever, cash flow is a major issue when you come to owning a local store. And I don't have the answer for everybody. I think at the end of the day, this is one of those awkward conversations, which is like, there are people who don't have the financial means in order to start a game store or run a game store. And I don't make the rules. Like, I don't create the rules of the world of which says like having money helps you do things. But that's just the reality of what it is. So for me, I started this whole store with like 10 grand that I got from selling video camera equipment that I had a previous little tiny business doing. That's how I started my store. And so I know it can be done with 10 grand. I know you can do that, but you've got to be really intentional about not spending all of your money and not just like unloading all your money on one set. Because if that one set doesn't work, you got to like slowly grow it over time. I think what I've learned from other stores is what a lot of people do is they instantly get their money back. So like they take let's say you take a $1,000 purchase. Let's say you buy a couple cases, 2 cases of the newest Pokemon set. And as soon as they can, they get that money back. They go to get that money back for their cash flow. I think in this hobby, what I've learned over the last 2 years, anyway, for our business, you have to be able to sit on some product for a little bit of a longer time. You can't just take that 10% kind of easy, the fastest way of making the money. You have to kind of be able to sit on that product for a little bit, allow it to sell at the price point that allows you to make a good 30-40% off of a hot product, that kind of thing. Additionally, with that comes into diversification. The thing that we really learned is that by buying a bunch of collections, you guys have seen me doing the singles collections for Magic the Gathering. By buying a bunch of Magic the Gathering singles collections, I have been able to increase our ability to buy other stuff because of that part of our business. And so by diversifying into really loading into buying singles collections, and our business this works. Having product on the wall works. And it sells, but this would never be a full-time business. I can never have the employees I have, and I can never run pay myself if I was just selling sealed product. There's no way that works. So we've diversified into buying collections both online and locally. We've diversified into Japanese. We even buy Japanese Pokemon now. That was one of the things we saw everywhere. People were trying to sell us Japanese Pokemon cards, and we kept saying no. And eventually I said, why would we just not learn how to do this? Like, if we just learn how to buy Japanese Pokemon cards, it's a whole nother source of revenue that comes into us as a store and allows us to diversify and buy more stuff and sell more stuff and whatever. So that's been really helpful to start learning. Well, if one area of the business, like Pokemon, for 2 years was doing nothing, our sales for 2 years in Pokemon look abysmal compared to the last 6 months. It's so funny. I'm talking like we had Scarlet and Violet base set boxes we had on the shelf for $85. You walked in our store, you could steal them. They were right there. They were, boom. Everybody saw them. Scarlet and Violet base boxes, $85. I think for 6 months we had them out. I think we sold 2 of them. Now people are coming in, they're buying, I have 2 orders this week. People came in, they bought 64 packs of Scarlet and Violet base set for $5 a pack. I mean, it's crazy how people have changed their attitude and their mind on this stuff. And so for 2 years, Pokemon was doing nothing. It was zero, it was 0%. It wasn't 0%, but it was probably a negative for 2 years in terms of cash flow. It was definitely a negative because we were buying, we weren't selling. But all of a sudden, because of that we focused on other things, and all of a sudden that has shifted, and so you got to be able to pivot. And so inventory, supply, cash flow, diversification, all that stuff, all that goes to earning more customers. And this is the biggest thing that I think I have learned, and I've been trying to really be better at, is this idea that we want to do all those things to earn more customers. It's not just earning a sale. That's not the goal. The goal for the first year or two of my business was probably to sell things. It was probably to earn a sale and make some money and whatever. Now it's like, oh man, the goal is to like earn customers. So this is a perfect example with the current Pokemon sets. Journey Together. I could sell those boxes for $240 on TCG Player all day. Like all day. I could make way more money selling those boxes for $240 on TCG Player. Instead, we sold 1 box limit per person to everybody in our Discord server. And we'll have a couple boxes. I think we're pretty much sold out. But we'll have a couple boxes in store for MSRP on release day for people who missed out on that. We are creating a culture of why people want to shop with us. We're earning those customers. We're losing out on $80 a box, $70 a box after fees, and maybe $60 a box after fees and shipping. We're losing out on that money. But hopefully the goal, for me anyway, is like the Pokemon market isn't always going to be this hot. So if I can earn these customers, and if 50% of them, 25% of them stick around when the Pokemon market is cooled off, we'll continue to be able to churn and to run the store and to do those things, and we will have grown in some way. So that's my thoughts currently on this market and how we are handling it. Like I said, we got kind of lucky. The market shifted in a time when we had a good chunk of inventory, so we've been able to have stuff on the shelf. But it's also that kind of diversification that allowed us to get lucky like that. And now the key is to like earn those customers and continue to grow in that way. So a lot of Pokemon talk. Let me know if you enjoyed that. I don't know. It is by far the biggest part of owning a game store right now. We'll see if Final Fantasy switches that up for Magic the Gathering in the future. But these things have been really, really on my mind, and that's what this channel is. So I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to hop in the Discord server, go to KitchenTableTCG.com. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.